Found it. Oh. Can we fix that?
No. No. Looks like it's gonna be a clip show. It's gonna be a clip show. So today we're going to a film shoot. Obviously we're not there. We're sitting thankfully by the ocean because the Battle Wagon has had a mechanical
DNF?
Kinda. Yeah.
DNS.
DNS. DNS?
Did not start.
No, it did not start. Does not start. I mean, today would have been the finale for season 4.
Yeah.
So, since that's probably not going to happen on film, we've got, what, 44 or 48 episodes in the bag?
48 different things to reference in 12 minutes.
So, alright, so we decided to hell with it. We're going to go through the top, our favorite episodes from the first 4 seasons of Big Muscle, why we liked them.
It's just going to be a bunch of clips and burnouts, really.
That's fine. That's what most of our episodes are anyway. What's your favorite car that we've shot on the show?
Oh, GT500.
Why?
Eleanor.
Was it really?
Yeah, that was
Out of
great.
all the cool cars we shot, that was your favorite, huh?
Because it was my favorite to look at. It rode well. It ran well. You said it handled good.
It did, yeah.
And it was
did.
That was like a bucket list car. So for me, it checked all those things.
Okay.
I think my gut reaction would be that it checked a lot of boxes.
It looked good. Oh, you remember the kid?
The guy.
Remember the guy that just randomly
That
stopped?
was random.
If he's got one on his arm, I gotta see this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Billy. Now, most of the time when we film, people will stop, they'll come up, but they generally don't say anything. Billy pulled in with his car and immediately stuck his forearm out the window. Now, the reason for this is he's got that car tattooed on that arm.
That's cool. That was cool. I think that was probably the best part of the day.
That's why that car is great, because it's a good enough looking car that people are like, I will get that tattooed on my arm.
Forever.
I think they're stunning.
Let's go. What about you? What was one of your favorite cars?
Favorite cars? I really like your Daytona. As cheesy as it is, I think the Daytona is absolutely gorgeous in whatever setting you put it in. Like, just after sunset, that car is evil and mean and sinister looking just sitting there.
That's cool.
And wherever you put it, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's out of play. I mean, it's definitely an attention getter.
Yeah.
You know? I love Drew's Nova. That was when we first started this show, that was the first car that came to me. Like, when we got the okay, and JF was like, all right, do Big Muscle. I was like, I gotta find this guy. I heard about that car years and years ago, and I had to really kind of dig to find out who had it.
Yeah.
And so I called up Drew, and it's really weird because when we first started the show, it's kind of strange when you go up to somebody that you don't know and you're like, hey, my name is Mike. Can I have your car for 10 hours and do burnouts with it? And people are like, no, you can't.
No, who are you?
Who are you? You can't do that. But we were lucky enough to find people that, after we kind of explained to them what we wanted to do and what kind of drive was as a whole, that they were kind enough to give us access to the cars. Mm-hmm. And Drew, that car was so fast, and it was
rad.
violent. That car is just war. It was just the most over-the-top, insane.
It's amazing.
Like, that car is the biggest, meanest bouncer I've ever seen. The other great burnout car was Mike Arman's wagon that we just recently showed.
That thing was pimp. It was like tough, stealthy.
Yeah, it was tough, stealthy. And Mike was another one that has a great attitude. He's just like, I built it to just have fun with. Like, you know, it was great because Mike was like, just do as many burnouts as you can, as many times as you can.
Let's see what she does.
It's a nice little stretch of pavement.
This is a little stretch of pavement. And what happens when you have a nice little stretch of pavement? You do burnouts. We should do another burnout up here? All right.
Let's try another burnout.
Let's try another burnout. See the smoke?
Burnouts are just fun.
Well, what other cars did we shoot that did really good burnouts?
The big ass caddy.
Oh, yeah. I found Ron at a car show up in Northern California in this big 64 Cadillac DeVille, and it was all black, air suspension in the rear, big block with a 671 blower on top. And it was one of those cars that you look at and you're like, this is obviously the greatest thing I've ever seen. And then you meet Ron, who is this, you know, he's an older guy, he's just really low key. And he's like, oh yeah, it's my car. He's like, oh yeah, you guys could drive it.
Yeah.
And it was so much. That was another one of my favorite shoot days.
He brought a lawn chair and just sat, and he's like, "Okay, I'll see you at 5."
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah, we went down a Pacific Coast Highway, and he's just like, "Yeah, do burnouts, do whatever you want with the car," and it ran perfectly. You don't expect a car like that to run well.
No.
That's a car that if he were to sell it, I would offer him money for it.
Good big car.
Yeah,
cushy, floaty.
Yep, I loved it. I love the big ones, man. The Bonneville. Remember the 59 Bonneville?
Oh, the orange Bonneville. Yeah.
That was another guy who, you know, that car was, I found it in my car show and you know, I spoke to him, and again, really soft-spoken gentleman. Just a fabulous car. For me, my grandfather had a 59 Bonneville, so it was kind of cool to find one out there, because they're few and far between.
Yeah.
But to take a car like that, slather it in Lamborghini orange paint, that's a big risk. You know what I mean?
It fits it perfect,
it was,
man.
Oh, no.
It shows off curves and,
that's
and
the
lines.
That was, yeah.
That's what Flake does.
That's the best paint job of any big muscle car we filmed.
Yeah.
For sure. That's the best paint.
Yeah. When we find cars, I mean, yes, we get submissions, but I literally scour the internet. I go to forums. I go to everything to try to find really cool cars. One of the cars that I found was Sean's 1973 Chevelle, and that's a car that you just don't see at all. I mean, they're... No. I don't want to say they're rare because they built a lot of them, but they've just kind of disappeared over time. People just haven't kind of really enjoyed them. Sean built this gunmetal gray Chevelle with black NASCAR steelies on it. You know, he bought it when he was like 16 years old with paper route money, and it went through a whole bunch of different kind of renditions as far as color and suspension and everything else. That's one of my favorite cars. That's one of my favorite cars. And that was a true home built. I mean, most of the cars we shoot are home built, but that one just for some reason I related to. I really like that thing.
He had those nice NASCAR wheels on there too.
Oh, that looked tough.
Those should go on this car.
We put steelies on here.
I'm telling you, the NASCAR wheels on here will look tough. As far as good days go.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I think two of my favorite days, just for the whole, from start to finish, were Zach's Cobra.
Well, it's because it shoots flames.
Well, first of all, we didn't know I didn't know you had it because you failed to tell me that you actually owned a Cobra. Then we got to it and it was like 85% finished. Like the mechanics were done and the body was just a fiberglass shell that looks like it was painted to be an old race car, but it was just old.
Yeah, carpets are for homes.
Yeah, and it drove great. It was fast. It blew flames. It was, and then the day was just perfect. The day was just absolutely spectacular. I can't believe it's 4 seasons. That's the most amazing part.
Was it 48 cars?
48 cars.
That's a lot of cars.
48.
More than that, because we've had some doubles.
Which ones were doubles?
We did 2 cars in King of Queens.
Ooh, that's right. Yeah, the dual part episode. You guys laughed at that episode, those episodes, but I loved it. I saw my guys back there. Those cars were outstanding.
You sure you're not Greek?
I'm not Greek.
I'm amazed they store cars in those tiny little garages. Like,
dude, that's what you have to do when you're in like any of the big cities like Chicago, New York, or Philly, or anything like that. It's like you store cars where you can. It's just you would never expect such high quality cars to be in an area that looks like post-apocalyptic place.
Yeah, and the cars that were in there, like George's car, black monster thing that was actually fast.
George's Buick, that 67 GS, is one of the nicest cars I think we've ever had on the show.
Yeah.
It's just, he does everything to perfection. The interior is gorgeous, the engine, everything ran good, there were no squeaks and no rattles, and it was Well, Chris's car, we filmed 2 episodes, the JCG Camaro. That car was cool. I was just so happy when he called. And he was like, you know, he goes, listen, I really want you to experience the car. This is what every owner should do, by the way. This is a good tip. If you want us to experience the car in its entirety, rent us a racetrack for the day. Because
very easy.
It can even be Buttonwillow.
We won't complain.
It's not my favorite car, but it's a good car.
Oh, it's a great car.
There's so much amazing work put in that car. Like amazing detail work. And the fact that it drives really well and it still looks awesome. Like a Camaro, just like a better Camaro.
Yeah.
It didn't change the body to make it look like something weird.
Yep.
It's a pretty phenomenal build.
Well, that's one of the cars where you could literally spend hours going through every detail of the car, and you'll go, oh my God, look at this. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Chris's attention to detail is probably, I mean, it's really a second to none. He builds a hell of a car, man. I think it's great.
You know what I love about LA? Henry's car.
Yeah, dude. Henry's car was that crazy rat rod. I think we titled it Satan's Rat Rod. And driving it around LA and just seeing people's reactions to it was unbelievable. But I think my favorite was the homeless guy.
Yeah.
We were down by Rodeo.
Yeah.
And he had a cape. Homeless guy had a cape.
That's ridiculous, right?
That car is pure Hollywood from everything about it. It's over the top.
It was
eye-grabbing.
I like when we pulled next to the Veyron. And people were like, what is that
The
thing?
camera's like, huh?
Yeah.
We can find the Veyron on the internet, but I don't know what that is.
Well, the other part was Henry. Henry was one of the nicest guys in the world. Down to earth. He's like, I let kids crawl up and around on it.
Yep.
You know, and he's got the right attitude about old cars. Just let people enjoy them for what they are and experience them.
I like that he armor alls everything, so if people lean up against the car, they get a grease spot.
Yeah. What was the worst car we've driven? And I hate saying worst, but what was the worst car we've driven?
It wasn't terrible. It just was too low.
Was the Thunderbird?
Yeah.
That car was. You know those little pavement markers, the little reflectors in the road? You literally couldn't go over one without bottoming out, and every time you went over one, you had to hit the gas so the suspension would kind of go up and you could kind of skip over it. But it was so low that we actually created a drinking game for it, which was actually pretty funny.
Now while all this, like that drink. Now while all of this lends to an unbelievable looking car, all right, you guys are gonna be shit-faced in, I don't know, 20 minutes? I don't even know how that's possible. We're going 6.
Shouldn't fix a problem with skid plate.
It was a rough day. What's his name? The Double Trouble Hot Rod. It was so hot.
That's another car that I actually found at a show in Monterey. Spoke to the guy a year in advance, and when I first spoke to him, Gordon Johnson was his name. When I first saw the car, it only had 2 blowers on it, and he was like, "Call me in a year. I'm putting another 2 blowers on the car." And we're like, "It's already got 2 motors and 2 blowers." He's like, "Yeah, but 4 is better than 2."
That's why New Zealand is great.
Oh,
because they created that.
Well, the fact that he built it by himself in his garage makes it I think, probably one of my top 5, just because of what the car was. And we drove that car for 10 hours in about 109, 110 degree heat.
So hot.
And it was, I mean, you guys can watch the video, but man, was it a cool car. And Gordon was another one that's great.
One of the other times we were in the desert, but it wasn't 1,000 degrees, and the car had 1 engine, King of Hammers. I know fans in love, but watching you drive the beater buggy is one of the funniest things I've ever seen you do in my life.
Whoa! 2 hands on the wheel, Mike. I can't, my arms are too big. Woo! This thing is so cool. I want one of these. We're going up. Yeah, son. Wow.
2 hands, Mike.
Your eyes have never been so big, and you've never looked so silly. You look like a 5-year-old who the mom for that month was like, "You can wear anything you want just for today," and you were like, "Ski goggles and a hat," and then you went to school like that. It was so funny.
Visually, it was unbelievable. We were so unprepared. But
I got broken up with 3 days before that, so I was particularly grumpy.
you weren't that bad, though. You hide your anger well.
You did.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. You remember when we took the wagon drag race?
Yes.
When the Camaro broke? Actually, not far from where we are right now. You and me, Thaddeus.
All right, big burnout in the water box.
Big burnout?
Big burnout.
You think this guy's scared? Thaddeus, you ready to rock?
I'm ready to go.
We're going. What you got? What you got? Take it out for me. No, we're not. But we got him on the light.
We got him on the light.
And we turned a bam.
74.5. We had no clue what we were doing though.
No, but it was still fun.
So fun. That was the funnest part.
It just proves you can run anything you want and enjoy it. It's the key. It really is. So many people just say, oh, I don't have a muscle car, I don't have this. You can run anything. You can run a Subaru, you know, whatever, brat down the racetrack and have a blast with it.
Yeah, but you can't put people in the back seats.
No, that's illegal. That's illegal.
Fun Nazis is what they are.
I love this car.
This car's completely reliable.
Best car in the world. There's no way. Look at the wagon. It's got all this storage. If only it stored a little bit of commitment and reliability.
This car has never left us stranded, ever.
Except today.
Before today, this car has never left us stranded.
These squirrels are invading us. It just went underneath the car.
They want food.
Oh, he's right here.
What was the best driving car? What was your favorite car to drive?
Honestly, I think it was Jimmy Day's AMX. That car was set up. I mean, that car, it's such an oddball, but that car was just set up so well. I mean, it short wheelbase. It wasn't quick. It was fast, but it stuck like glue. Everything that you did with that car with the front wheels came through right here, and you felt it. You felt the car if it was going to push, it was going to, you know, oversteer or whatever. You could control the entire thing with the throttle. And the best was Jimmy. Jimmy's whole attitude towards the car was just, it was built to be beaten on and driven hard. So go ahead and do it. We were like,
bored that day.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't driving. Well, speaking of that, I mean, when you look at some of the real, like the performance cars that we've shot, right, like Hobaugh's Vette.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Brian's car. I mean, the really one of the cool parts about the show is the more people we get to meet in person, the more people they introduce us to.
Yeah.
You know, we shot Mike Myers, his Mustang, which was just amazing.
That thing's cool.
You know,
That's awesome.
Mike's attitude about cars is like, yeah, dude, just take it and, you know, romp on it and have fun with it. And if it breaks, we'll just fix it and whatever. So we shot his car, his Mustang, which was amazing. And then we shot Brian's Hobaugh's 65 Corvette. And that car, I remember your face because we got to Brian's house. And if you guys look in the video, you'll see one scene where the garage door opens up and you just see this red car with these steamroller tires. From a looks perspective, that's got to be one of the best, not the best looking cars that we shot, but the best looking cars, period.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think you could bring that to, like, you could park that next to a Lamborghini Miura.
Yeah.
And people would look at Hobaugh's Corvette and go, what's going on here?
Perfect wide body.
Yeah. I mean,
second gen Corvette.
You know, and the fact he's got, his father bought the car, you know, used, but to autocross it. He's raced it. And now it was funny, he actually just posted up on Facebook that his daughter is also autocrossing now and that she's going to start racing it.
Nice.
Yeah,
and
they let her drive that. It's crazy.
The fact that those cars are such like a family affair is really, and that's the other thing, guys. If you have kids, man, let your kids drive the car. Be with them, obviously.
With supervision.
With supervision.
Yeah.
But share them with your kids. Don't be like, son, you're never allowed to drive my car. Don't be a jackass.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for the kids.
For the kids, Mike.
For the kids.
Do it for the kids.
Do it for
Mike.
the kids.
You know what you have to do.
What's up, kids? I got kids over here. They're motioning for me to do a burnout. However, I'm not going to do a burnout. Why? Because we're in a school zone.
You should still do a burnout.
I'm not doing a burnout.
You should do a burnout. It's for the kids.
I'm not doing a burnout for the kids.
I wish we were on a moving vehicle right now.
Yeah, it's getting kind of stale in here. Since the back windows don't work, I feel bad for Zach. Not so much for us, but for Zach.
At least the ocean breeze is nice.
It's great. This vehicle's great. The back windows that don't work never have worked.
Well, we have air conditioning.
You've spent so much money detailing this car, and yet,
Dude.
you have.
No, I'm not detailed.
Didn't Larry do the
You've gotten
interior?
this car detailed. You've said it.
No, I've gotten the interior detailed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Never but I did the interior for you.
We gotta live in here.
The windows will be for me.
It was winter 2 months ago. Well.
Let's go look at it. Let's go. I got a camera. Our car broke down, and now we just happen to look out the window, and there's a whale. And not like a little whale, like a full-blown
big whale.
like humpback style whale. Wow. People ask me why I don't go swimming in the ocean.
Oh,
That's crazy.
The best part of the day.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's awesome.
There are 2 of them. You can zoom in on the white whale up on the beach.
No, then you see all the cars that are not broken next to the Hallmark.
The whale. There she blows.
Remember last time we got stuck?
Oh yeah.
Dude, the last time, well, we didn't get stuck because of the battle wagon breaking down. We got stuck because, and I blame this 100% on you, because we were coming. That's after we shot the 22, and I was sore because I drove from the friggin' wrong seat. And this train is coming. We're in a parking lot, and Zach's like, "Wouldn't it be really funny if the train just stopped right before we were able to get out?"
No! No! What? This is picture worthy.
I got on video. It's right there. It's right there. It goes all the way down there, and it's right there.
We got to get over these tracks.
TV producers
Can't plan that.
You can't write for that kind of
It
stuff.
wasn't written.
No.
We can't stop a train.
No, just like the whale.
So what did we learn from the first 4 seasons of Big Muscle?
Don't buy a Caprice wagon.
Man, that's not cool.
Buy this Caprice wagon after whatever is wrong with it is
Yeah,
fixed.
buy this Caprice wagon. You guys, obviously we did not film an episode today because this broke down and yeah. So, I feel like Spinelli right there.
It's like we're defeated.
You know, we've said this before. Keep throwing us cars at drivebigmuscle@gmail.com. We want to see them. We're hoping to get a real big budget next season, so we can actually go to the places where you are and film your cool stuff. But again, and I kind of said this last season, but don't be one of those guys that just loves Fords or Chevys or Oldsmobiles. Don't be one of those guys that just rubs a car with a diaper and never drives it. Enjoy the cars with your families. Enjoy them with your friends. Let other people drive them and experience them, because I mean, they're old, man. These cars are 40, 50, 60 years old. And once you're gone, I hate to say it, but odds are the cars are still going to be around for the next guy to enjoy. But do your best to show people what they are and to educate them on what these cars are. We're going to bring you more cars. We're going to bring you some great people. And, you know, once we get the wagon fixed, we'll be able to drive there and show them to you. But we hope you guys enjoy the first 4 seasons. We'll be back hopefully soon, and with more cars, and that's it.
More burnouts.
More burnouts. So, dude, Triple A.
About time.
Later, guys.
Oh, best wagon in the world, man. Boom, shake a leg.
Boom, shake a leg.
That's the way it should have been. Not boom. Boom.
Boom, shake a leg.
Boom. Shakalaka.
Did he clap already?
Yeah, you clap.
Slate with boom, shake a leg.
Boom. Shakalaka.
Oh man.
That's what happens when you get stuffed in a car.
Oh boy.